Hi, I'm Chris Pirillo, and I'm obsessed with tech.
This is Obsessed with Tech with Robin Johnston, where we take a look at the latest hardware and software. We also find the coolest gadgets and the neatest websites and the latest, greatest podcasts. And now, here's Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin Johnston, and you're watching Obsessed with Tech. Today we're going to do things a little bit different on this episode. Normally, like you know, I do a segment myself, and we've just recently introduced our Celebrity Tech segment. But today's special guest is going to be Chris Pirillo. And Chris's section that he sent is quite long, but after you see it, you'll know why I left it so long. And I want to include as much of it as possible in this. I sent off an email to Chris and asked him if he'd like to be a part of this. And being the good person that he is, and the extremely exciting, not boring podcaster that he is, he opted to let me use some of his content and film a separate section, a little segment for us. So I do apologize to Chris, and I'd like to do that publicly. He did this. He's got lots of patience. Being new at doing this, I tend to make rookie mistakes from time to time again. And I recorded the first Ustream segment with Chris, and everything looked good. But when I went to save it, the computer crashed. So I asked Chris if he would do it again for me, and he very graciously said yes. And if you look on the screen now, you'll see what I did to make sure that I was not going to lose it the next time. I tripled my efforts. And Chris did a very nice intro again. So thank you, Chris. And without further ado, here's Chris Pirillo telling us what he is currently obsessed about. So thanks, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Pirillo, and Robin asked me if I was obsessing over anything this week, and, well, aside from coffee, it would have to be the Huey Pro.
Color is important, and, you know, your computer monitors or screens are also important. And the screens themselves may be displaying color properly, but if you're in a room that has light that isn't complementary to the colors being displayed on your screen, well, then they're going to be off. And this is important if you're doing any kind of photo touch-ups, video editing, you know, trying to get true color with, you know, what's on screen and what's printed out. And I didn't really think much of this because I thought, well, I'll just calibrate my monitor, adjust the gamma, and I'll be good to go, right? Wrong. And I didn't really put two and two together until just the other day. I was reminded that one of you out there had made a product recommendation to me. The product was specifically Huey, and I ended up getting Huey Pro for a couple of reasons. About $100. I've got a special discount link for everybody. If you come into the chat room, I'll be setting up the bot so that you can type in what is Huey and get a direct link that'll pass along some savings to you, as well as give me credit for, you know, passing that along. I didn't think I needed this, and I thought, well, $100, sure, I'll give it a shot, because the guy who recommended it said, no, you just trust me, you need it. I was like, well, whatever, dude. My color's fine. Blue looks like blue, red looks like red. So inside here is this little wand. I don't know, would you call it a Hue stick? A Huey wand. Very lightweight. It's USB. It's got little suction cups on there. And this, by the way, has software for both Mac OS X as well as Windows, so including Windows Vista, by the way. You open the wizard, step through, answer a couple questions, then it says, okay, now affix the Huey to the screen and let the software do the rest. And so it does. And then at the end, it makes a recommendation. It says, your profile has been adjusted to this. And it was such a dramatic change that when I first looked at it, I'm like, that's not right. No, my monitor software was doing fine. The display settings, the color display settings were doing just fine before. I didn't realize just how off the color was until, number one, I let my eyes adjust. Number two, when I stepped away and came back, everything just seemed natural. And then after using the Huey profile that it set up for me in this lighting environment, or my home office, I went back and tried the old settings that I had, the old calibration that I made, and I wouldn't say the difference was night and day, but it was certainly showing me just how off my color previously was on these screens behind me. It's just a USB device. In fact, it's the software runs in the background if you want it to. You don't have to. It will constantly, in a little, it's a cradle, if you will, it'll constantly monitor the light in the room and then make adjustments in the display settings accordingly. That's cool. And let me tell you, if you've got a monitor or a screen, it's CRT or LCD, you owe it to yourself to pick up a Huey or a Huey Pro. And it's got a nice little chart on the back. The reason why I went with the Huey Pro is because it helped me calibrate multiple monitors. I didn't run into too many issues because they're really the same monitors behind me. The Huey Pro also allows for user-defined combinations, has profile naming, and that saves to, well, at least in Mac OS X, saves directly to the display settings. User-defined reminder, so in 14 days I can recalibrate or define it however. It's got advanced help. And, of course, the Huey and the Huey Pro both have free tech support. It really wasn't that difficult, and you just don't realize how off your color is until you've had it adjusted, and then you let your eyes adjust and you start looking at things. I didn't realize some of the colors that I had previously set, you know, in software with these screens, I didn't realize the colors were so far off, and now that I'm seeing the colors as they should be, I'm kind of like blown away. I'm dumbfounded. I am amazed that this product, number one, exists, number two, that it works, and number three, that it took me so long to get it. If you sit in front of a computer screen and you love playing video games, if you love, you know, viewing pictures or viewing videos, my guess is that the colors on the screen as you see them aren't the way they should be in the environment that you're sitting in. This is relatively affordable, I think, in terms of the ease of adjustment it gives you. Now, you may say, well, I can calibrate it myself. I know what white looks like. You think so, right? You think. Run a Huey on it.
Thank you, Chris. The Huey looks awesome. I know that I have several monitors in many different lighting conditions that I use, and I'm sure that would come in extremely handy. For any of you that have not checked out Chris, I spoke about him in previous episodes, so many of you regular viewers are probably very familiar with him. I'm talking about chrispirillo.com. He has a site, Chris Pirillo Live, and basically if you want to get Chris, the easiest way to do it is go to Google, type in the word Chris, and he's right at the top, Chris Pirillo. Do go and check him out. He is anything but boring. He, in fact, has some of the most compelling content out there on the internet. He does so much every single day, and I know he's done a lot for me, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much, Chris. I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you do want to see the rest of Chris's video, you can come over to obsessedwithtech.net. I'll post the whole YouTube video there. Or you can go to YouTube or Chris's site as well. And it's chris.pirillo.com for that. So thanks again so much for joining us today. And just before we leave, I just want to say happy anniversary. We're going to try and get this episode up on the actual date of our anniversary, which is March 18th, and we're 1 year old. So thank you so much. We really couldn't have done this without you. And as I always say, I'm obsessed with tech, and I want you to get out and get obsessed with tech too. Have a great night.
This has been another episode of Obsessed with Tech. Thanks for watching this Robin J production. Also, a huge kudos to all those who helped make this episode possible. So, we'll see you next time when you'll say that you are also obsessed with tech.